There is a gold rush going on right now in Norway. It's not for gold, it's not for oil, it's actually for something that people usually don't want. They think it's waste, they think it's destroyed, but actually that's not true. It's for old battery packs, which are worth a hell of a lot of money. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sam Evans and I'm the Electric Viking. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Really good to have all of you. Make sure you check out some of the 3,500 videos we've completed over the last 24 months. All about lithium, the gold rush to lithium, electric cars and the future of the automotive industry. It's, we try to tell it straight here in this channel. There's no made up fake facts like some of the other clickbaity stuff you've been seeing lately. Please don't send me any more links to some of this stuff that people are just making up, like the so-called electric cars in China being thrown out. It's all fake. If you want to see my response to that video, by the way, I'll put a link in the description below. In Norway, there is a gold rush. Wearing a white lab coat and with a gas mask within reach, old Jorgen Glonvold measures the humidity of an intriguing dark powder touted as the world's next black gold. Why is it black gold? Well, it's worth an insane amount of money. Now, the media wants you to believe that basically used batteries are just going into landfill. There's heaps of YouTube videos making these claims. They're terrible for the planet. Lithium batteries are a massive toxic problem. Completely fake news. I've been sent many links to videos from numerous people who subscribe to the channel trying to tell me that lithium batteries are a terrible environmental problem because some dude made a video saying that they were. Well, that is utter straight garbage. Black gold is a term that usually refers to oil, but actually it's good for the earth. In southeastern Norway lies Europe's biggest plant for recycling used or even defective electric car batteries, turning them into a powder or black mass made up of nickel, manganese, cobalt, lithium, and graphite. Now, I want to make a point very clear here. Most of the time, your lithium battery pack in your car is going to outlive the life of your car. Most of the time it is. Now we're seeing EVs with well over 500,000 kilometers of distance traveled on one battery pack. That's common now, very common. In fact, we're seeing a lot of those battery packs coming out of those old cars going into energy storage for homes and other places. But when they're completely spent, they're actually being recycled, and this recycling material is worth an incredible amount of money. These so-called critical minerals, essential components in many clean energy technologies, are reused to just make new batteries, and the key cogs in the transition to a decarbonized economy. The higher the quality of the components, the easier it is to use them for recycling, said Gronvold, a laboratory technician at Hydrovolt, a joint venture between Norwegian aluminium giant Norsk Hydro and Swedish electric battery maker Northvolt. The Hydrovolt plant opened last year in the port city of Fredrikstad, and it's kind of interesting that the media barely mention anything about it because it doesn't fit their anti-EV narrative. Within the next few months, the site is expected to be able to process 12,000 tons of lithium-ion battery packs every year, the equivalent of 25,000 electric car batteries. Industry leader Norway, where electricity is almost exclusively generated by renewable energy, is the uncontested world leader in the sales of zero emissions, fully electric cars, with the latter accounting for more than 80% of new car registrations. In fact, last month, EVs made up 85% of all new car sales in Norway, with nearly 25% of those being Teslas. Now, think of it like this. The EV battery pack is like having a mine above ground, and it's a lot easier to get to, even with some of the glue and different things that hold the battery packs together. Emptied of electricity, the imposing battery packs that weigh half a ton each are methodically taken apart to recover up to 95% of these very valuable materials. The aluminium is recycled by Norsk Hydro, while the black mass powder is sold to battery manufacturers. "This is the black gold that gives us life," said Glenn Osby, the acting head of Hydrovolt, leading a tour of the plant clad in a safety helmet and goggles. The black gold is touted as eco-friendly as it comes from the recycling process rather than being mined in faraway countries. Eventually, we won't have to mine any at all. It'll be a closed-loop recycling process. That's the true beauty of lithium batteries. Battery recycling is, in many ways, an alternative to mines. We have sort of built a mine above ground, Hydrovolt's Director of Operations, Andreas Freidensvang, said. A battery can be transformed into a new battery to infinity. The recycling also helps boost independence when it comes to critical minerals, with the COVID pandemic and the war in Ukraine highlighting the continent's problematic dependence on imported raw materials. In Europe, we have big markets for products, but we don't actually have so much of our own resources. Julia Poliskanova, head of our electric mobility, said at the non-governmental organisation Transport and Environment. Globally speaking, we're not a mining superpower for copper, cobalt, or nickel, in the traditional sense that is. But you can recycle a lot quicker than you can start up a new mine for a lot less money and a lot less energy as well. According to Transport and Environment, a European Clear Transport Campaign group recycling old batteries could cover between at least 8 and 12% of Europe's critical mineral needs in 2030, possibly more than that, and between 12 and 20% in 2035. The European Parliament recently adopted regulations aimed at making batteries more sustainable and much more easily recyclable. But, insisted Polskanova, Europe is also needing to stop exporting its precious black mass to third countries such as China and South Korea. It needs to develop its own hydrometallurgic processing plants, which it is actually in the process of doing. This other crucial link in the recycling chain, which makes it possible to extract the metals contained in the powder, is still low scale in Europe, handled only by a few companies such as Revolt in Sweden and Eramet in France. Government subsidies are also needed so that the many planned battery plants can see the light of day, creating an ecosystem favourable to recyclers, said Polskanova. The most important thing for us, she said, is the degree of adoption of electric cars, so that there is a reservoir of end-of-life batteries. Basically, the faster we adopt electric cars, the more money these recycling companies can make, and the more batteries they can make from those recycled materials. We're therefore looking at countries like Germany, France, and the United States for old battery packs that we can use to make black gold. The success of recycling initiatives depends on government support, some degree subsidies, and the growth of the electric car market more than anything else. Hydrovolt plans to expand its recycling operations in many other countries. This is already happening in the US, it's happening soon in Germany, France, and of course, it already is happening in China, where more EVs are sold than the rest of the world combined. Eventually, we won't need to mine copper, cobalt, nickel, manganese, aluminium, or lithium. We'll simply be able to recycle it. That's the beauty of electric cars. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.